So, is your racial preference a fetish? The lines may be a little bit blurry for some. Personally, I think racial preferences are normal, but racial fetishes are a bit creepy. Well, let me explain why I think so. So, definition of a preference. A preference is defined as a greater liking for one alternative over another or others. So, racial preference in dating is when you like dating someone of one race more than another. Some people claim having a racial preference is racist because you're liking one race over another, but when you hear the definition, it's not implying you wouldn't date other races. It's just that you like dating someone of one race more than dating someone of another or of other races. And this preference can be mild to moderate, feeling, liking, or wanting one person more than another person. But there's no exclusion. And most people date within their own race because of, you know, familiarity in culture and lived experiences. Who we grew up around and our culture is often tied to race. They look more like you and you just relate more to them socially, but you're not saying one race is better than another. You just like that particular race based pretty much on upbringing and proximity. A fetish, however, is defined as a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, part of a body. You only like big boobs. That's a fetish. So a racial fetish is a sexual desire linked to a person's race. Where racial preference is concerned, people are drawn to someone that happens to be a race they quote unquote like based on cultural identity. Where when it's a fetish, someone is sexually gratified only by that person's race. Their personality rarely is what draws them in. They have a stereotypical idea of that person solely on their race, and it arouses them. Keywords that your racial preference might actually just be a racial fetish, describing people as foods. Black people, for example, are seen as chocolate, or white people are seen as vanilla, or saying someone is exotic, or an entire race of Asian women are submissive, or black girls are better than white girls, shit like that. It's all about their race and not who they are as a person. Say, like, if you reject someone who has all the qualities you like in a person simply because of their race, then it's a fetish. And it's kind of borderline racist. I don't like to use the word racist too much because it's been overused to the point it loses meaning sometimes. But if you say you will never date an entire race of people because you have decided nobody in that entire race can possibly be attractive or have qualities you may like in a person to date, you've reduced them to an inferior people not worthy of individualism. And when you see people as inferior, that's racism. So, to sum it up, racial preferences means you wouldn't discriminate against any other race, but you would like a particular type of person based on environment, culture, religion, background, and oftentimes that's tied to a certain race. Racial fetish, however, involves stereotyping an entire race and wanting to chase only people of that race where their personality isn't taken into consideration at all. You just assume, based on things like the media or internet, that everyone in this race are the same. And that distorted, objectified image turns you on, making them sexual conquests. So, listen to how you speak about your supposed racial preferences. Even when that race is your own, it may actually just be a fetish. So, that's all I got to say. Trying to keep it short. I think the next time I'm going to talk about femininity and masculinity and how one cannot exist without the other. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.